Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host, Chantele Francis, here with Mika on a Friday to talk about episode 45 and 46 of Love Island UK. Mika, how are you doing? How's your Friday going?
I'm good. My Friday is okay.
Only okay.
Only okay. I'm alive. Like that feels like it's half the battle nowadays. But I am okay. I'm enjoying my Friday as it is. I'm excited for the US version of the show, but I'm also here excited to talk about this version of the show.
You are.
I listen, we're gonna chat.
Oh, Sophie's mad at me because I don't have someone to go live with for everything. So when I do it on my own, it's because I don't have someone to go live with. Do you want to go live, Sophie, for all the shows all the time? It's very hard to coordinate sometimes. So
Yeah, we still have to do the Bachelorette, and it's like Love Island is kicking our ass.
exactly. Hi,
Hey,
Jaquan. Hi, Sophie.
Hi, Sophie.
So, okay, let's just get right into it. So we are going back to Lola's decision. Were you questioning if she was going to pick Joey or not? Because you know that that Jesse was really nervous that he didn't shut it down enough, and she was going to choose Joey, and she was going to be dubbed. Were you snowed by this one? What did you think?
If he and she hadn't had that conversation right before this, I would have thought that she was going to pick Joey.
Now, do you think that Joey wanted her to pick him?
I think Joey wanted everybody to think that she was going to pick him, but I don't think he wanted her to pick him, to be fair.
These last 2 episodes have actually made me dislike Joey the most out of, I think, anybody on both versions this season.
Correct.
This year.
I mean, Rob, though.
Rob has some more redeemable moments.
Really?
Don't you think it was nice how he with Daniela, how he was just saying, like, no, you're so beautiful, like you're gonna.
You believe that?
I think it still was nice that it came out of his mouth, and it was more sincere than anything Joey has ever said, in my opinion.
I mean, I guess.
I like Rob more than Joey.
I guess for me, the whole Rob thing is that I just feel like he was waiting on Cassie. So it's like once Daniela got dumped and he got picked,
I don't think he cares about Cassie, really.
I was like, oh, you've been waiting on Cassie. Got it. Listen, this has been my theory for a while. So
I don't know. Tasha didn't watch, but is here for the review.
I love that.
Do I watch Gavin and Stacey? I do not know what Gavin and Stacey is. Is that a British show? Is it a talk show? I don't know. Ricky agrees that Joey is worse than Rob.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I thought the season's over. The season ended a long time ago, but it's still going on. Hi, Em. Thanks for joining. Nice to see you in our chat here. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Matthew, what are you saying, Matthew? Who's this Joey? And if he's worse than Rob, Kaylor, and Aaron, do I want to know? He's
definitely worse than Kaylor and Aaron, but
Aaron sucks too, though.
Yeah,
but
Aaron sucks.
What the thing with Joey, Matthew, is that he's manipulative. And he's just like a gaslighting machine, and then he pretends that he's not doing anything, and he needs to be. Oh, we do watch The Housewives. He's kind of like how Lisa Rinna is always like, oh, you have to tell the truth. Like, I'm just making you tell the truth about everything. I want you to be telling the truth, and but they're always lying. Or never talking about their own situations. They're always pointing the fingers at everybody else and making a big whole commotion and then being like, well, I just needed to bring the truth to light. It's like, who asked you? Fuck off.
But see, this is my point in that I feel like Sean and him are the same because I don't feel like Sean is any different. So
I think why Sean is a little bit different. I dislike Sean more than Rob as well.
That definitely absolutely.
I think is because Joey has a bigger ego about it, even because he has more fame. If Sean was as famous as Joey, I think he'd be worse because Sean is kind of a loser that thinks that because he's been able to shut down all these gorgeous girls that he would never have access to in the real world. He has this
Mhm.
false vibrato. And I think that that's just like the little bit of the difference with Joey. Joey, he actually believes that he's amazing and he thinks that every girl wants him. Oh, he sucks. Sounds like a
Uh,
Sandoval. He's kind of in there with Sandoval. Um, Sandoval. Sandoval might be more vindictive and plays the victim a little bit more. But he sucks. He sucks too.
yeah.
M says Joey has been on one lately. First with Grace and Challenge, and now with Mimi. Absolutely, like I have a lot to say. Sophie, what do you mean you want Nicole and Kira to win? Really?
No.
I mean, they're probably gonna win, but I actually, well, I don't know if I was saying this to you or Miss Joy, but I said, you know what, Nicole and Kieran winning
Mm-hmm.
is what this season deserves.
I that's what I said to you 2 weeks ago, or what was it earlier this week? I'm like, this show is gonna end like shit, and you know what? At this point, the way the season went, because of producer manipulation, it's what it deserves.
I agree. It 100% deserves this ending because they screwed it up big time.
Yep.
Sophie doesn't get what the Love Island winner gets. So the final two, like the couple that's voted by the audience, they will, I don't know if they'll get the chance to steal or not. I don't know if they're going to do that twist anymore.
I don't think they've done it 2 years now.
But there is £50,000 on the line. And in the US, I think it's $100,000 on the line.
Yeah.
Hi, Lady Lyrics. At least after this is done, you have a break. Do I? No, there's never a break. People have been asking me to cover Big Brother, and I might do something. I don't know, but I don't know. Sophie loves your top, Mika.
Oh, thank you. It's my favorite one. It's
Princess
probably
and the
better
Frog.
than Boots, but
Well, to nobody's surprise, Lola chooses Ruben. Woo! Jesse's in shocked, and Joey turns. I told you to trust
I
me.
told you to trust me.
Just wanted to pop him in the nose.
I know.
Jesse and Joey do go for a chat, and she's like, Joey's like, I'm not interested. I mean, she fancies me, but and if I wanted her, I could have her. I'm just like, he's so gross. He like his swag like is so ick to me. And this is actually making me dislike Jesse even more. The fact that she likes him so much, and she
Yeah.
defends him so much.
I
Like,
wonder if she thinks that she's going to win with him.
well, maybe outside the villa.
Mm.
Yeah, I know Dreadful will be her. Like more than a decade older than Lola. It's like you're 33, she's 22, buddy. Like, or you might have just turned 34 actually, because your birthday just came, or is coming up.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Leo season. Today's
yeah.
Joseph's birthday. Joseph Abden's.
Oh, so he's never been a Leo?
Mhm.
I thought that I always thought that Joseph Abden was a Leo, but he's
a Leo.
No, the Leo changes on the 23rd.
Oh. I don't know. They're singing happy birthday to him today, so I thought
maybe they're saying it early.
Yeah, he had a birthday brunch today that he didn't show up for.
oh. Oh yeah, it's on finale night. It's the 29th, I think that is. Yeah. But yeah, so that makes him not a Leo if his birthday is today.
Well, when was Fajita Gate last year? I mean, 2 years ago. Whatever that is, that's his birthday.
Fajita Gate. I don't know if we could find that.
Yeah,
Fajita Gate, Big Brother. Okay, it seems like it's July 24th, so that makes more sense.
So that's his birthday.
Unless it's incorrect, but
so because I didn't really technically start watching the show until right after that.
Yeah, do you know what? I remember thinking that it was his birthday when that was going on, like his actual birthday, and I remember thinking it was a Leo, but she's probably just celebrating his birthday because he has everybody together in New
Yeah.
York.
Yeah, because they've been trying to get him. He does not plan birthdays. They've been trying to get him to plan a birthday, and they wanted Taylor to try and plan the birthday. She's like, he's not my man no more. I'm not gonna do it.
Rachel says
Yes,
he
I
showed
saw.
up because he was late because of New York traffic and being on POC time.
Yeah, he. So I'm in his like little channel, and he said that he ordered fajitas, and he was showing it to America, and America's like, why? Because I'm Mexican.
Oh, she doesn't get it.
And she didn't get it, and he was like, she didn't remember. I was like, yeah.
So I think she was a fake fan.
Yeah, that's what everybody. Well, okay, we won't go there.
We won't go there. But Jessie was really, really wound up with the fact that she was under the impression that Lola was going to choose him, and she wants Joey to make it crystal clear that
I did like this conversation. To be fair, I mean, I thought this conversation was fair conversation.
Have the conversation, absolutely. I think that it is in Jessie's right to be like, hey, if you're into me, then shut it down and don't make it seem like you're open or that you're, not closed off and that there's a possibility that your head could be turned. Like, make it clear. So I get that from Jessie, but the fact that she just lets him off the hook for him being like, well, we're not closed off, like I never said anything wrong, and how he does it, like what he said to Lola was misleading.
That's why I wondered, like, does she think they're going to win or something? Because I'm just like, why are you taking this? I don't feel like she would take it on the outside, but maybe she would. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe she would. These people are young.
Yeah.
So Harry and Grace are a new couple since he stole Grace from Ruben originally. So she didn't actually think that being open meant breaking up a couple. What do you think about the fact that Grace was not interested in being in a couple with this man?
She should have told him that I'm not interested.
Then or before?
Since he walked into the villa, because we all know that she wanted to stay with Ruben.
Yeah. I mean, I guess she just didn't want to, like, why do you think that she didn't make it more clear? She wanted the storyline?
Probably. I do think Grace likes it to be known that she is a prize, which, I mean, who wouldn't? But I think in this case, with the time frame we're on, and the fact that I do think that her and Josh had a good connection right before this, should have just shut it down. Ruben. I wasn't believing that there was a good connection, like that she actually was into it. And then I was like, oh, I think she and him are like getting there. And then it was like, oh, she's ripped away.
Well, I think that what she likes is that, like, Ruben is a little bit soft for sure, but he still has a little bit of swag, a little bit of chat. He can make her smile. You know what I mean? And I find that Harry, she's just like.
Harry is Joey light.
Yeah. He's just not her thing.
No.
He's not really, like, he's not my thing too. He's definitely a very white British girl thing. Like, I'm sure that a lot of girls really find him attractive. I'm just not into him at all.
Yeah, I mean, we find out that, Lola's type is him and Joey. Like I said, like, he's just a Joey variant in that he's Joey look wise.
I don't think they look alike at all, actually, but
to me, I can see where people are saying he looks like him, but also he's just he has the same kind of edge to Joey, just quieter. That it's so off-putting, because like we saw today, she just like kind of had to walk away from him because he was just like, I don't want to say stalkerish. I don't want to use that word. There's a word for it, like where he's just quiet.
Consumed by her? Oh,
quiet. I'm talking about Lola, today's episode. Yeah, and I was like, she was just like, he's just not saying anything. And it's like, ooh, that's concerning.
He's a Pisces. Pisces don't ever talk.
Brooding, then okay. Yeah.
Lola and Ruben do have a conversation, and she thought that she had better chats with Ruben than she did with Joey. I don't really know if that's true or not, but she's trying to
I
make herself feel better about picking him.
Yeah, I didn't see that they had a better chat. I think it was pretty clear to me that he wanted to stay with Grace, but
Yeah.
like
Well,
for me, I feel like Ruben was clearer on where he wanted to be than Grace was clearer on
I
where
mean,
she was.
with what happens at the end of this episode, with there being a recoupling, and now there's going to be a vote. They don't know about the vote, obviously, but she should have just gone, but guns blazing, and broke up Joey and
Broke
Jesse.
up Joey and
Like,
Jesse.
just for then be involved in that huge thing.
Yeah,
You're still going to be in the same position
yeah.
where you know what I mean. They're going to go back to each other,
Have
but
the balls, just because it's like at some point you just have to have the cojones and just.
because that's all she's going to get, right? She's not going to be able to really break up any couple. Nobody is really going to entertain her this late in the game. Like, it's the final recoupling in 24 hours after she comes into the villa. So I think that she should have just been like, well, I have the best connection with him so far. He said that you guys weren't closed off, so I decided to take a chance on him and see what's going on. And Jesse would have flipped out. And Joey would have had to, go and be like, I didn't say I was open. Like, you'd have to go and try to get Jesse back.
And
it would
then
have been a
we'd
huge
see
storyline.
and then we would have seen where he was at, like, really, because
I think he's still planning on going to the end with Jesse, even if she came in to disrupt. And it would have probably played into his, like, I'm all for you, Jesse narrative. Because he would be able to do all these grand gestures, maybe that he would do the exclusive, like, find letters and poems and, go around the villa and be like, we're exclusive, whatever. So, you know what I mean? He would be able to do something.
A villa proposal that people are mad in the USA that a certain person doesn't want. I'm like, fuck a villa proposal. They're gross.
It's fine. Why do you hate a villa proposal? I don't care.
Because it's like, I would like it if the producers were like, okay, we're going to help you do it. And we're going to, like, put a little effort into it. But it's like, you're picking flowers from random plants around the villa.
I've seen them do it on the UK where maybe the producers are in on it, but it's like actually kind of cute. And, they go around and each person has like a line that they say to the person, and then they go on this like scavenger hunt and stuff like that. I've seen it be very cute before in the past. But anyways, I think Joey would have the opportunity to do one of those grand gesture things to get Jesse back, which would have been like huge for their storyline, huge for their potentially getting to the end. And I don't think they can win, but making it to the final at least,
Yeah.
So I think that Lola did not do her big one. She dropped. She flopped.
Yeah. She flopped. But I feel like they both flopped when they got in. To be fair, like, they could have kept Lola and Harry.
And Lolly.
And Lolly. Yeah. I mean, Lolly was really just a Connor saver until he, although maybe if they had sent in Lola instead of Lolly in that spot.
So young, though. 22?
Oh, how old is Connor? I mean, Connor's 28. It's not bad.
She looks 22. I don't know. 22 and 28, 6 years. It's a bit much, in my opinion, at that age. Like in your 40s, 42 and 48. Okay, that's no big deal. But 22, that's like saying 16 and 24. Like, I don't know. No, sorry. Wait, how many years? 8 years or 6 years? Hey, 16 and 22 is gross.
Yeah. But happens.
It's too big of an age gap for me.
I don't date older, so I wouldn't even know. But I'm just saying it does happen. I've never dated anybody older than me.
Oh, I mean, I have, but when I was older. Did I date somebody? Actually, you know what? I did date someone 6 years older than me when I was like 18. That's true.
That's what I'm saying.
And he ruined my life, so.
That's what I'm saying. It happens. Like,
it was bad. I
feel like it's a tale as old as time, personally. But
no, it was a bad decision on my part. I wish that I'd never done.
I truly believe the minimum age on this show should be 25.
I could agree with that. So Josh goes to speak to Nicole, because Nicole is confused about the arrogant comment, and she starts to cry about it. And she's like, "I'm just so strongly, madly in love with the boy. Just so strongly, madly in love." Like she said it like 6 times, strongly, madly in love with the boy. And if that makes me arrogant, then then so be it. I'm like, I
I
think what the people are saying with you being arrogant is that you and Kieran act like you've already won the show.
no, yeah,
And
and
your relationship's so strong.
yeah, and I personally don't feel like they did themselves any favors in this last 2 episodes. Like,
Mm.
I don't think they have. I mean, people will vote for them, of course, because again, they're the longest couple together, but their relationship is not strong, and they are smug. I mean, you could be mad at Josh for saying it, but he wasn't wrong. He was
Well,
actually
he said arrogant. I think it was Io that said smug, but
no. Didn't he say during the kissing challenge, the icebreaker challenge, he called them smug. He called her smug, and then um said you're that's why you guys are good together.
it's only arrogant. It's smug comes next in the next game, I think. On the next, like this game that happens this episode. It's arrogant.
Whatever he was saying, I agreed with him.
Yeah, Josh says most arrogant is Nicole. I know that
agree.
it's smug is in the next thing because Joey's like, I don't know what that means. What does smug mean? I don't know what smug means when they're all
Uh,
standing in
I,
the couples game.
I started blocking out Joey because he was just chatting shit. But I agreed with him. I'm like, yeah, you
I
can
don't know
see.
who else I would pick, right? Like who's
No,
arrogant? Yeah, I'd take Nicole being kind of arrogant. The fact that her and Kieran are such a good couple, we're so
and they're
strong, we're
like
boyfriend girlfriend.
acting like they don't have anything to work on, or like they, like you said, they've won the show, and it's like, I mean, fine, you probably won the show, but like y'all are not a strong couple, so maybe keep it. Maybe keep it.
Io and Kieran chat, and he says that she couldn't think of anyone else. Talking about Jess, I guess, but Nicole, wanting to get to the final, and like, why is it so bad to want to get to the final? It's part of the game, right? It's
I
part of
don't
the
know.
show.
I anybody who sat there and acted like they did not want to get to the final is full of shit. And anybody who sat there and acted like anybody saying that they wanted to get to the final was like some sort of big dig is full of shit. Because then why are you still like the only person who obviously didn't care about the final was Uma.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody wants to stay in the game. Like, why are people crying that they are leaving? It's because they want to get to the final. They want to stay on the show as long as possible. They want to get as many followers and viewers as possible.
Imagine on a game show.
Absolutely. It's kind of like a little bit how on The Bachelor, Bachelorette, people like not being there for the right reasons. Well, do you know what? Only one person is going to get the girl or the guy, and they don't pay these people to be there. So the fact that they just want to get whatever they can by being on
And stay
television,
on as long as they can. And my whole thing is with the Bachelor and the
pay
Bachelorette,
them.
pay them. I think you remove that by paying them. Give them a stipend that takes care of their housing for the 2 weeks or whatever it is that they're there, 3 weeks, whatever, and then you won't have those desperados on the damn show making it a big deal that you're there for the wrong reasons, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So I mean, there's an easy solve to that they refuse to do.
Ricky says that UK in general hate people explicitly wanting to win game shows.
But going on them, that wins money.
They don't want to know that people want to win. I get it, but sorry.
Mean, I've already said, like, if you want to win this show, make me believe what you're supposed to make me believe. I mean, that's also fair, especially on a love game show. But also, don't sit there and try to gaslight me that you don't really care about winning.
Exactly. Like, I'd rather Nicole being like, of course I want to win. Like, it would really prove that what I feel about my relationship with Kieran is true, and that the audience sees it as well. whatever,
Right.
you know? But you know how she annoys me. She
She
definitely
wants.
does. They're all getting ready for bed. Grace decides that she still really wants to get to know Ruben, even though she's in a couple with Harry. In the morning, Joey is going to clear things with Jess. He like Jess was that wait, did I miss today's? I can't remember. No, I didn't. Okay. I can't remember who I talked with whom with about what because there was another game again today, right? Or yesterday.
They just decided to backload games
And I'm just
at the
like,
end of the show.
I don't like the games are interesting.
Oh no, I love the games. I
But
just
like,
kind of
why
feel like
haven't they
they
done
could have
them?
been spread out throughout the
100%.
because you're getting the same answers because people are like at the end of the day, and it's like, well, now we're just going to tell the truth, and it's like, okay, but y'all are also repeating yourself, right? Like it's actually repetitive questions and answers.
Yeah,
So
so I'm just getting confused as to what was
yeah,
said.
yeah.
So Grace thinks that Lola played it safe with Ruben, especially knowing that Lola's type is Joey and or Harry.
Mm-hmm.
Ruben, so Grace is standing in the hallway and Ruben walks by, and as he walks by, he says, "I miss feeling your feet press into me." I was like,
I like Ruben so much, guys. You don't understand.
he's cute.
He's just a cutie wooty patootie. I swear to God, like just hilarious to me.
Lola and Ruben have a conversation and he does apologize for his reaction. He was just surprised and he didn't want her to feel bad about it. And so they kind of cleared the air about that. Harry and Grace also have a conversation. She does not want to give any energy to that man whatsoever. So he says that she has blue eyes and she's like, no, my eyes are green. And they had kind of a mini argument over the color of her eyes. Like, why are you arguing with the girl,
Of
Harry?
her own eyes, her own eyes that she sees in a mirror every day because she has to put makeup on them.
Like, I mean, green eyes are more rare, to be honest. I think Aaron has green eyes from Love Island, UK or USA.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm always like, yeah, he looks like an evil lizard. Can you unsee it? No, you can't. Paint him green. Paint him green. He looks like a lizard.
Oh my God.
She says that he doesn't look like a Harry. He looks more like a Jake. It's funny though because Harry, I guess from Prince Harry, there's so many Harrys in the UK, and so
Right.
I agree that he doesn't look like a Harry to me, but I think it's just because his mom probably really loves Harry in the palace. I got a text. They are going to be playing couples goals. All right. So I wrote them down. Hopefully, I remembered some of the drama with each of these question or these statements. So, who would you most want to double date? Which couple? So basically, each pair is standing and they're writing on a chalkboard their answers.
Yeah.
I think Sean and Matilda got the most. I was like, really? Like that's who people want to have double dates with the most?
I was shocked because even Josh and Mimi said that, and I was like, really? I would never. But she said, oh, Matilda's my girl, so they must. Matilda is bringing up Sean, but I'm sorry, nothing in the world would make me want to sit at a table with Sean. So sorry, Matilda, that's a no. But I also fair on Mimi and Josh because I don't think I want to sit and I guess I think if Ruben and Grace had been together, it might have been a Ruben and Grace.
I think it was Ruben and Grace.
Yeah. But at the time, Ruben wasn't with Grace, so I kind of understand not picking Ruben. But I'm just like, yeah, there's not really many people I would sit in a.
I think I know you don't like Io, but I think I'd sit with Jess and Io.
If I'm Mimi and Josh.
Oh.
I mean, you and I sitting with Jess and Io. If I was gonna choose, I'd choose Mimi and Josh. But
right, I choose Mimi and Josh.
If I'm Mimi and Josh, I can't choose Io and Jess. They already said they're ghosting them, and I'm also fair. And my bestie is not in a couple with the person I would want him with, so can't say him. So I would choose like what girl I would want to sit there and chat to. I agree. I wouldn't want to sit with
I'm like,
Nicole
Josh, you want to
Kidman.
talk to Sean? Ugh.
No.
Most argumentative. Jess and Io is what Sean says. And I'm just like, Sean needs to zip it. Because Jess and I were just like, we don't really argue. We maybe have conversations about certain things, but I don't really think of them as argumentative at all. Like,
Oh no.
I think
Personally.
of Kieran and Nicole as argumentative. They're
Mhm.
always bickering, arguing.
Every
Even
time.
Jesse and Joey are more
All the time.
bickering.
Yeah, like who else? Sean and Matilda. Who else? I mean, I think even Ruben and Grace have had more arguments than Jess and Io.
Yeah, like they haven't been having any argument. She's kind of been whining a little bit, being like, well, I think you should do this, this, and this. But I haven't seen them in like an argument where it was like back and forth and like not understanding each other. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no.
But Sean, obviously, like, I think that Sean might be the R word. I just think that that's what it is. He wants to put down all the Black people. Like, that's just what it looks like to me. Yeah. Who gives you the biggest ick? Which couple? I loved Io calling out Sean.
Like Sean was shocked. He's just shocked.
And he's just like, well, the fact that like you're going around talking about everybody's business, like that would give me the ick. And it does. Io, you're right.
Yeah.
And then Sean needs to go take on his role as the honesty police, which I hate that role. It's like, why do you need to decide when people need to be more honest about their feelings? Like,
and
why
then
are you
trying to make it seem like, oh, I was there trying to protect. Jess didn't know, and I was like, Jess is like, no, don't try to make this that you were backing me and you were protecting me. That's full of shit. Like you calling it out just to get at me and to get at Mimi. Don't start that. And he's like, no, well, I'm not wrong because there were feelings, and I'm like, no, that's not what it was. You are the R word, and you
want to meddle with the relation the
perceived stronger couples because you think that you probably will not get to the end unless you take them out. I mean, because to be fair, think about your last two finals. Most of those couples that got closer to the end, it was like one white couple to one or two Black couples that like made the top 1 to 3, right? So I personally think he's trying to take out, especially since Mimi has not been in the bottom guys.
Even when she did her madness.
Yes. I mean, and knock on wood, it doesn't happen tonight.
I think that she's redeemed herself in the eyes of I've not been online.
Yeah. I don't know. Facebook has been riding for her. That's the crazy part. Facebook has been riding hard
with her. I think she's okay. I think she'll make it through this vote.
Yeah. But there are people who are trying to twist what happened and what she did and what she did not do. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about at this point. Like, you're making up stuff now.
Listen, okay, Mary, don't worry. We understand.
We totally understand. We're just one more week, guys. One more week.
Mary says, but Sean is going to be the Mitch treatment and he would go out and love him. No. No, I don't. I think that Mitch has a better personality than Sean does.
But I think it's because Mitch didn't play the innocent victim type. He was like, I'm messy, I know.
Yeah. And like he annoyed me for sure, but I didn't feel that he targeted his venom, like I didn't feel like it was targeted. I think he was just all over messy.
He was spraying it all over the place so everybody could catch it.
So obviously Joey's also jumping in on this because people need to be honest with their feelings, and I was just like really, really irritated. And I loved how irritated Jess was. Mm-hmm. And when Jess said, I don't know if it was here or if it was a little bit later, where she says to Sean that you are wearing Joey's asshole as a hat. I was like, excuse me, you are wearing Joey's asshole as a hat. I've ever heard.
She said she had a couple good ones here. She's like, when she said, don't try to rate it as if you were sitting here backing me, because that's not what you were doing. When she said that Sean, no, it was a cop out because he wears Joey's asshole like a hat. And then when she said to Mimi and Josh, she's like, I rate you guys. I think you guys are there. She's like, because John was trying to make it seem like him and Matilda were so much stronger, and she's like, oh, it's maybe because you guys haven't gotten there, and Jess is like, because seriously, for Jess, it's a 1-2 punch, like if y'all think that there's an issue between all four of us, there's no issue, because they're a good couple and we're a good couple, and nobody needs to be talking about. So yeah, Josh, no, I think you're there. I think you're right. I loved the entire exchange.
Yeah, Team Jess for sure.
Yeah, very much so.
Most smug is next. Joey doesn't know this word. I'm like, I just don't want to be with someone that's adult.
How can you be the epitome of a word you don't?
Like, how do you not know some of the basic, it's a 4-letter word. And it's not like a slang word. It's a word.
That was the problem. It wasn't.
But like, it's basic.
I know it is.
I really rate intelligence high. And so that would give me the ick. If you don't know the word smug, I was like, and it's not like it's your second language. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Yep. Like, I definitely have, obviously, as much patience as possible for someone that's speaking a different language. But if it's your first language, not knowing the word smug, I don't even know if I would ask. I would just, like, guess what it meant by how people were reacting, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Next is, who is the least honest? I didn't write down anybody what they said. Least honest. Do you remember?
There was, like, it got into an argument. I just don't understand. It's like, one thing was about not being honest with your feelings. The other thing was like,
did it go back here to Grace again?
Yeah,
and then Joey's like saying like Grace is not being honest.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Grace. Oh, because Joey is so bent out of shape for the fact that he is not Grace's type. And so the least honest came, and he started coming at Grace. Joey started coming at Grace, and then biggest game player was next, and Joey comes for Grace again. And he's like, she's like, oh, you keep on saying that you're like, I'm not your type. And she's like, you're not. And she's like, well, you were all over me like at the beginning. And like now, like you're not all over these.
Like, that's because we had history, but we're not like, she's like, but it's gone. She's like, it's gone. She's like, but you're not my type. You are not my type. And I don't know why you keep trying to tell me who my type is. He's like, oh, well, see, you're with Harry and you. And she's like, that didn't have anything to do with me, but he is my type. And then Harry's like, oh, well, you're saying that, but just like she went with you, her feelings could grow. It pisses him off. Like, I think he also thought that this was it. Like, oh, she couldn't go back to Ruben because he kept trying to put that power. Oh, see, I knew she didn't like you, Ruben. I knew she didn't want to be with you.
And the thing is too is that why does actually we'll get to it later. So then likely to have their head turned. And I don't know how Joey felt that this was the right time to bring up this secret mission. But like, I was like, you're the biggest asshole. I never understood why Mimi decided to pull Joey to help her with this mission.
That the one mistake I felt she made, but
we said it from the beginning. Be like, okay, even if you're going to be doing this, like, why are you asking Joey, the biggest blabbermouth? Like, to go, you might as well have asked Sean.
You might as well ask Josh.
Yep, basically. Might as well have asked anybody in the villa. You might as well just stand on the daybed.
Yeah.
Because, like, not going to say a secret. And so I felt kind of bad for Mimi because she's trying to explain it, and Jess didn't know what had happened. And Joey's like, well, it was a secret, so I can't really say what it is. And I'm like, well, then why are you bringing any remnants of it up? If it's a secret, none of it should be disclosed. And I was just very annoyed with him defending himself. And I felt bad for Mimi having to defend herself. But then I was like, well, it serves you right, because you should not have used Joey as your confidant here and to try to make this happen.
And I do feel like with Mimi, she did like basically laid out what happened. Because he's like, oh, it's like MI5 stuff, and she's like, I don't know what he's doing there, but she's like, this is what actually happened. And she's like, it just, the conversation we had, I just wanted it away from everybody. It just had to happen. And it's happened and it's done. And we're both fine, right? Like, you guys are fine. And all four of them said the same thing. We're fine. Like, it's all good. We're moved on. The situation is now done. That needed, and I'm glad they all agreed it needed to happen, because everybody was mixing up into their business, making it harder for them to get to the point that they were at, because that is what was going on.
So that was the end of the game. Nobody was really happy about the outcomes. We see everybody getting ready for the night.
Pardon? Oh God, I feel like there was one other thing that was said.
Yeah, well, I don't remember how it came out, but Ruben does say to Grace in that challenge that her and Harry are like standing beside each other like bean poles, and she was kind of annoyed that he's called her out with like them not really being that affectionate, and he had his hand around Lola's
waist, yeah.
And yeah, I don't know why he said that.
I don't know why he said that either. I think like jealous, Josh went through it a little bit. Like, I think just jealousy, because he likes her. I think just jealousy just reared its ugly head. But I also think I kind of like get it, because I think for him, he felt like, well, like maybe she does like, because he kept saying to them right before that, I've made my feelings clear, like what I wanted, who I want. I feel like he felt like he was in limbo, because she had not that point made her feelings clear what she wanted. And that's why I say I think she should have been more clear to Harry, like, no, I want to be with Ruben.
But then why would she call her out with the beanpole comment if he wanted
to say like, oh, you wanted this guy, but I don't see
any... you think that she made the door open for him to choose him, and so he was upset with the fact. Okay, I see. I see. It's like, oh, you got him to choose him to break us up, and you guys are not even like being affectionate. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Correct. I get that. So then I understand a little bit more by why he said it.
Correct. He shouldn't have said it, right? But I'm saying I kind of get why he said it. I kind of get what he was feeling when he said it, is what I'm saying. But yes, I was just like, oh, that was so dumb.
But he's 23.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but he's young. It's just
born in 2000.
Yeah, it was just
2000. I just 2000. I was doing stuff.
Yeah.
2000. I was like almost his age. He would be in my dating pool. Right, yeah. So they're getting ready for the night. Grace is, of course, pissed with Joey and Ruben. Io mentions that he hadn't told Jess about the secret mission thing. Joey and Mimi do have a conversation. And
I remember it. Sorry. I remember what also was said. So Jess says to Sean, because Sean kept saying, oh, well, Mimi went to the fire pit and she admitted to me that that there were still feelings there between her and Io, and that Mimi still had feelings. And so Jess says to him, so why are you drawing her out in public if she told you something in confidence then? Why are you doing that to her? Because that's not fair to her. If she told you that in confidence, then you're throwing it out in people. And I was like, exactly. Like, this is why I have a problem with him, because things were said to him in confidence that he's basically throwing out in public, which is also my issue with Joey. The one thing that he was asked to do in confidence, he also threw out in public, and he only did it because Josh and Io kind of called him out for being messy.
So Joey and Mimi do have a conversation, and Joey's like, well, you're sitting seductively on the terrace, like waiting for him. And she's like, I wasn't sitting seductively. I just wanted to have a conversation to clear the air. I didn't want to have people come and see us. And I just was annoyed that she let him off so easily. I was like, can you please just hold his feet to the fire? Like, just give him some annoyed energy, just a little bit. Because I hated seeing his like face, like when he does that. He always does the.
I know.
And he does that to her, and he does it to Jesse, just to make it look like, I don't know what he's trying to do. Like, you can't be mad at me. Like, I don't know. But she does like giggle with him. She laughs, and then she hugs him. I was like, why are you letting him get away with being an asshole to you? He really just tried to embarrass you in front of everybody and make you look like a fool. Tell people that you were, crawling around waiting for him. Basically, you know what I mean? Like, he embarrassed you, and now you're hugging him and saying it's okay.
To be fair, he did her a favor. Ultimately, he's done her a favor, right? Because we know that they're going to show this scene at some point.
That's embarrassing.
Which is embarrassing. But I think they've all come to the point where they think that Joey is a producer plant. And so kind of, I mean, also, I don't think it's in Mimi to get super angry.
I get that, but I just want to just make people a little bit accountable, just a little bit.
But I mean, I also feel like the same. I don't feel like Joey was held accountable. I don't feel like Sean was held accountable for either. And
Io was never held accountable, except for Jess. Jess holds him accountable.
I was gonna say we'll get to Io because I have problems with him, but just again, I think I said I don't know if I said it here or did I tweet it. I said the difference between Love Island UK and the difference between Love Island USA this season is
girls stand on business.
The girls are running the villa over on the US side, except for one girl, which is why she keeps ending it up in the bottom, and the boys are running the villa over here on this side. And it's not fun to watch. And people try to revisit history and be like, oh, I wish Mimi was more like Amber. Amber did this. Amber kind of did very similar things.
Yeah, she was kind of like a slow bird. It's kind of a Serena arc too, a little bit. Like slow bird, like not wanting to really show, like be vulnerable emotionally right off the bat, and then he wears her down.
Right. And then she, she kind of went at his person, kind of like Serena, and then like the person was dumped, and then he still hadn't chose her, right? And then when the person's done, then it's like, I want you, and she's like going back and forth. Should I go back to Michael? And everybody's like, oh, she dumped my. No. For about a week, Amber went back and forth with Michael for about a week before she chose Greg. Please stop revising history as if, oh, nobody here knows how to stand on business. Can't they be like Amber?
Well, be like Anna, maybe.
Anna's a good example of somebody who stood on business the entire time.
Yeah.
But Amber's who they keep throwing out. Then they're like, oh, why can't you stand on business like Tanya? Y'all hated Tanya. You tried to get her dumped. Y'all tried to vote her out. Y'all were in like the night before the vote for the final for finals. They sat there waiting for themselves to be able to vote her out so that she wouldn't get to the finals. And you know what happened? The villa said that they were one of the strongest couple and didn't put them as one of the people that could be voted on. And that's the only reason why Tanya and Shaq didn't get voted out. So don't sit here and try to revise history like y'all were always on Tanya's side. Y'all hated her, right? So then she stood on business too. So that's my point. It's like they want to revise history that these people are not standing on business. But my whole thing is, even if they did, y'all would hate them.
It's true. Grace and Harry have a chat. Grace is annoyed, and you can tell when Grace doesn't like someone is when she complains about somebody to the next person, right? So she's complaining to Harry about Ruben. She likes Ruben more than she likes you, Harry. Like, sorry.
I mean, that's what it comes down to. Like, if of all the people in the villa, she likes you. She way less than anybody. Yeah.
Jess and Io has a conversation. Of course, she wishes that he told her about the whole secret mission thing, and he says that he didn't think he needed to. Like everything was squashed. Blah 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 blah. Bibi does tell Josh what actually happened. I mean, I do wish that they just all were. I don't know why. Okay, Pisces like things to be hidden, discreet, behind the scenes,
Yeah.
not clear. That's just usually a Pisces MO or 12th house shit. And
And she
so,
told him that. That's the thing she did. Remember when I was here last, she said to him, I need to have a conversation with Ayo. And he's like, a conversation of for what? And he's like, well, I just don't like people being in my business. And she's like, I don't like people being in my business. She's like, I hate it. Like, that's why we need to just dead this. And I have to have a conversation with him to get like dead this. And he's like, he was resistant to her having a conversation with Ayo, right? But that's also why she did it in secret, because nobody would leave them alone until they had that conversation.
yeah, I mean, I do think that she maybe after the fact should have maybe just said something for Josh, being like,
Correct.
Josh, I've had the conversation with Io. Like, everything's done, everything's good, we're on the same page. Like, I
Correct.
can fully focus. And same with Io being like, you know,
Jess,
with Jess, yeah, exactly.
Jess, we had that. Like, let's. I just want, in case you already things that keep, you know, because he was. I kind of understand why he didn't right away tell Jess, because Jess was like panicking, but he should have then, like, right after that, been like, Jess, okay, so you know, I want to make things clear for you, but Ayo's not a clear man. But this is what he should
be more clear than he's ever been. So
yes, he should have been like, Jess, I had a conversation with me on the day beds. You know, she wanted us to have it privately on the terrace, but I just wanted it out in front of everybody. And so just
wouldn't be misconstrued, wouldn't be secretive.
And then when you told me that you guys had the conversation at the day club, I went back to her and just confirmed that what we said on the day bed, she understood and I understood, and we were in the correct place. It is over. I just want you to have that, because I don't want anybody else to come in here and keep saying stuff to you that is
exactly not. Just end it. But he didn't do it. So, but now she just says she wishes that he had, and it's done now. So Josh does pull Joey, and Josh is like, so, like, what happened with the secret mission thing? And so now Joey's playing coy again, being like, well, it was a secret mission. What did Mimi said to you? And like, this is the sign of a liar. We've been learning the signs of liars are when they want to know what you know before they can tell you what they know, or what they did, or what actually happened.
Don't sit there and say like you're protecting Mimi, because that's not true.
No, if you were protecting Mimi, it wouldn't have been part of any conversation.
Correct.
But Aaron did it when, like, oh, what did you see on the video? Oh, why do you need to know what I saw in the video? If there's only one thing that you could have possibly have done that was terrible, then you would know what I saw in the video. But if there's multiple things, please speak. And here with Joey being like, well, if you had a conversation with Mimi, tell me what you guys talked about. What did she tell you? And then I will give you my version of events. And I'm like, that's a sign of a liar.
And I'm glad Josh didn't play into it.
Oh, so
I was so happy he didn't play into it. He's like, no, you tell me. And he's like, well, I feel like I did you a favor, because it wouldn't have come. He's like, okay, so if you did me a favor and you're doing me a favor, then you tell me the entire favor.
Pick and choose how this favor land. And he says there's a reason why I'm not telling you word for word what happened. It's like, because you're a liar.
Exactly. That's the problem. It's like, it'd be different if something happened. Like, then it would be like, oh yeah, Joey's right.
Like, Jessica says Joey was hell bent on making it bigger than it was, by just not.
It was a dead situation that got deaded.
Yeah,
that's it.
He not say exactly. He was trying to make it worse, and Josh did get pretty much the full thing from Mimi.
Yeah.
And Joey, I think, was trying to make it worse. But I think Josh picked up that he was just being
No, he got it. That's why he wouldn't play into it. That's why they got into an argument towards the end, because he's like, no, understand this. You're messing with her and she's mine. And now you're messing with me too. So if you have something to say, you say it. And I will say this. I do like this about Josh, because he will go and throw his ire out and protect her and then cut there like, what happened? What's going
Yeah,
on?
he'll defend it, and then he'll ask questions.
Yes,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yes. And I'm not saying he shouldn't be allowed to ask the questions. He actually is absolutely correct in making sure he's straight of what is going on when people do this bullshit. But I do like that he'll back her and be like, she already told me what happened. But you're making it seem like something else I should be concerned about. So you tell me from your position what the secret mission was. And since you can't do that, then don't sit there and tell me that you did me a favor. You didn't do me no damn favor. And you're not
Absolutely.
doing
You're
her
not
a favor
separate.
either. Leave her out of this.
God, he's insufferable. So next episode begins, episode 46. Joey, they're still talking with Joey and Josh here. And Joey thinks that, it's a good thing that everything's out in the open now. Right, because you decided that's how everything should be, out in the open.
Yeah.
Mary likes Josh the best out of all the boys this season. I think so, actually. Josh and Ruben.
Josh and Ruben. Sorry, guys. They are the best boys this season so far. For all the things that even both of even their faults are still make them heads and tails better than these men.
So Josh then calls Mimi over and to chat, and that's when the conversation happens after the fact that you're speaking of. And he just wants to know, like, why was it a private thing? And so Mimi's just explained, this is how I do things. I didn't want things to be out in the open. And Josh is just like, listen, like, if things are not aligning, I just want to know if they're not aligning. If there's something else that you have to do, like, just let me know. And so I don't look like an idiot. I just want to be looking crazy out here. And so that's what I think. I wish that she understood with her doing, not wanting anybody to know and being secretive. People will then make reasons for your actions and make situations bigger than they actually are, because why do you need to hide them? Right. Usually things that are hidden are things that are.
His first thing is like, from me, like private from me. She's like, no, I told you that I had to have a conversation with him. And he's like, yeah. And she's like, so that's what I was trying to do. But that's what she wasn't getting. You've already told him. So it didn't need to be secret from him. So you could just come back around to him and be like, oh, so just so you know, I tried to have a conversation with Io on the terrace, but I said Joey, it didn't work out. Yeah. So we just did it on the day beds, but it's done now. We're good, right? If anybody brings it up again, we're tonight. Yeah, like they're hating because why are you bringing it up? We deaded this.
So Joey and Jesse have a conversation, and she doesn't think that Joey should be the one that's always bringing up people's business.
Yes.
And which is very true. Like, why does he need to be the person that the truth teller that tells everybody what truths have been hidden and what they need to be saying and what needs to be out in the open? Like, why is it his decision? And he says he thinks that Grace didn't like anybody in the villa except him. And it's like, just leave Grace alone, man. Like, if I was Jesse, I was like, why do you care?
True. Even that was true. And even Jesse kind of alludes to, like, okay, and you believe me. You agree with me. You agree with me. And she's like, leave it. Please. Leave it.
Jessica's saying Mimi and Josh just need to stay a united front and ignore all the noise. At this point, it's too much. Agreed.
It's like Toby and what's your name from last season? All Stars. But at the end of the day, they just, like, regardless of what everybody kept saying, they had to just be a united front. Like, you remember they were like, we got to back ourselves. That's what you got to do at this point. Georgia, because they're just going to keep doing this. And it's at this point, you just got to keep saying, I got to back ourselves. We got to back ourselves, right? And just back yourselves. And then, yes, ignore the noise. And I feel like that happened this episode, right? Like, I feel like that's where they got to this episode. But yeah.
So Ruben tries to hug Grace, which I thought was funny. He just wants us to, like, get back into Grace's good graces.
Yes.
And she's still pissed about the challenge. And he's like, I'll crawl on my knees for the next 10 years. She's like, please don't do that.
Funny. It was so funny.
He's like, I follow you around like a puppy. Like, she and I think she's just like thinks he's cute.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she will continue dating him outside. I think she might want somebody a little bit older, a little bit
Mhm.
more, yeah, just a little bit older.
Mhm.
But I think she likes entertaining him in the villa at this point.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I feel like she was. The thing is, the reason why she was open is because she is not necessarily there with Josh, but she definitely likes Josh. I keep saying Josh, Ruben, but she definitely likes Ruben way more than she likes Harry, and I think she probably at this point likes Ruben way more than she likes Joey. So I don't know
She
what
hates
Joey's talking
Joey.
about. She hates Joey.
Like, actually, I think she hates Joey. I think that
Yeah,
she's embarrassed about the fact that
will she ever entertain his ass?
yeah, I think
And
she's just
I
like,
don't
he's
blame her.
not even my type. He
Yeah,
didn't treat me well. Now he's trying to make me look like an idiot. Like,
don't blame her.
she's like, I really wish I never got involved with that man because he's not a representation of who I even like
Want to be with. Yeah.
or want to be with. Exactly. So they hug, and at bedtime, we see Grace telling Jess about the crawling comment, and it seemed to be that she was thinking that he was cute because Jess was like, he really, like, I think she thinks he's cute.
Yeah.
In the morning, everything is, Mimi says everything is cleared up for Mimi. I think that was Josh saying that. Ruben brought both Grace and Lola coffee.
Oh yeah. So Mimi said it to Nicole because Nicole's like, "How
Oh,
are you girls doing?" And
I can't stand her.
I can't stand her. And I think she was gonna start like how they keep doing. They keep starting on Mimi. Mimi, did you? She's like, I chat to everybody that I needed to chat to. Everything is done. It's done. Like even Jess is in the corner. It's like, yeah, like can y'all leave us the fuck alone now?
Yes, like, please. Jessica says Joey has a weird complex with wanting everyone to admit that Grace is only into him. Jesse should have a problem with it. I know, it's weird.
I know
She
it's
should be
odd.
wondering why Joey cares so much. It's giving obsessed. It is giving obsessed.
It's obsessed.
It's giving like he can't handle the fact that she's not that into him and that she prefers black men. He just
Yeah.
can't handle it. His
No.
ego can't handle it.
Yeah.
What a loser.
Yeah.
Uh Josh, Harry, and Io are all talking. And they ask about Grace. Did they?
Josh.
Did
Oh
Josh ask?
yes. Okay. So Ruben came and they asked him who he gave tea to, and he's like Lola and
Grace.
Grace. And then he said some verbiage that I can't remember right now, but basically making it known that he's focusing on both of them and clearing things up. And then they all went out into the terrace, not the terrace,
Wherever.
the
And then that's when Harry probably says that he's got a big ego, talking about Joey, I think. About Joey having a big ego with the fact that, because Harry was kind of interested in Grace. I was like, who's Harry? I couldn't remember who he was for a second. And then they do all talk about the secret mission, and basically Josh and Io are like both like everything's done.
It's done. Like, because Io was there. He's like, Josh is like, well, Io was there, and Mimi's told me everything that happened. There was no secret mission, and it is done. It's done. Because Io's like, we had the conversation that she wanted to have on the terrace is what we had on the day beds. That's it.
Exactly.
It's done.
Hi, Kay. Thanks for joining. Grace is with Lola and Jess, and they do talk about Ruben's comment a little bit. I didn't write anything more than that. Did you? Anything?
No, not really. The only thing I was laughing at is that Io didn't make Jess tea.
Right. Yeah, that's hasn't happened yet.
Oh, okay.
So Jessie thinks that Joey had good intentions. She's talking about this with Matilda, Nicole, and Mimi. And I was like, Jessie, like, can you stop defending Joey? I would actually maybe prefer her if she was more like Jess and was like, can see when their guy is doing something kind of shitty and it's like, yeah, do you know what, I'm gonna have to talk to him about that. Oh no, I don't like how he spoke to them like about that. Like, I would like to see her put him in his place a little bit more as opposed to just backing him all the time in things where he's being a dick. But Matilda now says that she likes Josh, so she's come around.
Yes, So that's why I said I think because Josh has been so like, because remember he got into an argument with Matilda and Sean, and he's like, if I wanted to be with Grace, trust me, I could have focused elsewhere, but I have a good connection with this girl, so there's no reason for me to. And then
Mhm.
also I think him going, I think they respect the fact that he went after Joey, to be fair, because I think a lot of the men in the villa don't, would not do it, will not
Yeah,
do it.
and, like, Joey probably hates that,
Yeah,
and hates that Josh is also more Grace's type, and he'll
correct.
step to him.
Correct. So they're like, the fact that Joey couldn't get away with it and Josh went to step to him for on Mimi's behalf, they're like, nah, like I like him for her. I like him for her, you know?
So this is when Jess walks by and she's like annoyed that Io didn't make the tea. Now, why didn't Io make the tea? She's like, well, didn't I make tea every day, other day for her?
He's like,
And
this is the first day. Like she got tea every day before
that's why
this.
she's gonna notice it then.
She's like, you know what I would, and she's like, do you know what I think? I was like, listen, I actually agree with Jess here. Like, if a man makes you tea every day, and then one day after a whole bunch of shit happened the day before, stops making you tea,
Yeah, it's gonna mean something.
it means something.
Yeah, why aren't you
And
making the tea?
I'm proud of her for continuing. This is why they are a better match. I don't want them to win, and I don't want them still in the villa, but this is why
I'll
they are a
take them in
better
the
match.
villa over Joey and Thing. I'll
This
take
is
them
true.
over
This
Matilda
is
and
fair. This
Sean.
is fair.
I'll
This
take
is
them
fair.
in the villa over Nicole and Kieran.
This is
Like,
this is fair.
like so, I'm fine with them being here till the end.
I
I
just
don't know
don't
if they'll
like.
get
I
there,
mean,
but
and it's on Io. It's not Jess. It's really on Io at this point. But it, for for the fact that she holds his feet to the fire on their relationship,
mhm.
right? I'm not talking about. She really kind of tries to keep the Mimi stuff out of it. You know, she's even said like Mimi doesn't really talk to her and tell her things because, to be fair, she shouldn't. Like she shouldn't have to. It's not on her.
Kay said, literally grown men cowering to Joey. It was
Yeah,
even cringe watching an episode when Joey was standing on the bed, hyping the guys up, with the guys all standing around him like he's the next coming. He's not.
I'm
He's
I'm
such a loser, in my
saying,
opinion.
I'm
So
saying.
we get a text. Josh and Mimi get their first date. Hashtag market meet cute.
I was so
Um,
happy when I got the press release this morning.
and
I
Sean
was
was like, oh, love that. I was like, sure you do,
No, you
Sean.
don't. No, you don't.
Sure
He's
you do.
pissed. He's pissed because he realizes, oh shit. So we just got a date and now they're getting a date.
It's going to be a
They
lasting
weren't in the
testing.
bottom. They are my competition.
100%.
Yeah.
So Mimi is super excited, getting ready. 11 out of 10. I think that they looked really good together. I loved her dress.
I
Yeah.
love the way her dress hung. Like you could just see near the crack. It was the perfect, like right there. And they were like matching without matching because it was like the material, like the linen with the like crochet, like it was just like the perfect little match, but not matchy. I love that.
Yeah, no, they looked great. They looked great. Then we bounce back to the villa. We see Jesse and Joey talking again. And Jesse's like, the girls are my friends. And what you say sometimes, whether it's true or not, can be taken as disrespectful.
Right.
She's like, Kieran is saying things and it's not coming across disrespectful. And he's like, oh, me and Kieran are different people. We're very different people. We're very different people. And she's like, I want your points to be heard. I'm just like, Jesse, can you stop like supporting this man? It's making me think that you're a loser. Loser. KV says, La, the joy before the fall. The producers ain't slick. They have our girls' downfall in the pipe and ready to launch. Yeah, probably with this grafties.
I mean, she described it to him, so I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, she did say that she was on the terrace floor.
Yeah.
So this is good. Like, it just
because that is what is going on right now on the internet. They're saying she lied to Josh. they're saying she omitted everything she did to Josh. And they're like, she was crawling on the floor. She told him she was on the floor. She said, Joey said because I was sitting on the floor, I was going to be doing a madness. And she's like, when has that ever been me? And to be fair, Mimi's not wrong in this. When has Mimi ever done a madness?
No.
Never. She doesn't even raise her voice. So all these people are like projecting on her that she wanted to like she did it all for a kiss. And I'm like, now I'm just like, before I thought maybe, but now I'm just like, to be fair, that is kind of a totally against
if the moment was there, then correct. The kiss would happen. But when
I don't know if that was her intentions. What they're saying is her intention was to go up there and kiss Io. And I don't think that was her.
Been, but I don't know.
But now I don't think so. Full, yeah, now I don't think that was her full intention, right? And so it's so funny because it took her saying that for me to be like, you know what? She's right.
Exactly.
She's absolutely right here. So all these people are sitting here like, oh, she didn't tell Josh the truth. She didn't tell Josh the truth. I mean, fair, but also she did tell him. So he said as long as she told him what happened, he was going to back her.
So the case thinks that seeing is harder than hearing. It is, and I fear that Josh's pride won't let him firm it. Yeah, I mean, I think knowing that this was the final recoupling, I think that they will choose to get over it because the finals is so close, right? It'll be a week away at that point. Tasha says exactly. I'm hearing that I don't think that she would want to kiss him. Yeah, it doesn't really seem like her. No, not in that kind of sneaky way. No. The problem is people are putting what they would do onto Mimi. Yeah. Say
it again, Jess. Say it again.
The problem is that people are putting what they would do onto Mimi.
that is exactly what the problem is right now. Right now, people are projecting onto Mimi what they would do or what they wanted her to do or what
the terrorist represents to them.
Correct. And
but that's why I always thought it was really bad to be doing this on the terrace,
right?
Because it always will give the perceived, we're like, oh, took her to the terrace. Oh my God, she took her to the terrace. Like it's just, it has its own. First kisses are always happening at the terrace. This and that. Their first kiss was at the terrace, on the terrace. So,
but this is also a different villa, and most of the madness happened in the Hideaway. To be fair. Somebody also pointed out
her first kiss with Io was on the terrace.
But somebody also pointed out when she and Nicole were talking in private, they were talking on the terrace. And I think that just might be the place that she feels comfortable having conversations.
Okay, so it's just not a good look to be on your knees to have a private chat with Io. Yes.
I mean, she wasn't on her knees. She was sitting on the floor. So
she crawled and then she was kneeling. She was on her knees a bit.
She was crawling and then she sat. What I'm saying is it's not like she was begging on her knees, begging and waiting for him, which is what people are saying is what she was doing. She was sitting on the floor, which is what she said to Josh. Because do you understand the difference? What people are saying is she was on her knees waiting for Io, and she told Josh she was sitting on the floor. She was sitting on the floor.
I don't know what the conversation is the people are having. I just think that they're stupid. Yes. Josh tries some cheese on the date. They go and they're walking through this little market, like a real date. They get a crocheted little stuffed animal. Yeah, he has a lot of money.
Yeah, because it looked like he had money from Spain. So.
Yeah, I guess euros. He would have had some. Yeah. He had some. I'm sure they gave him some euros.
Yeah, because he's like, keep the change.
They get this crocheted. I guess it's a stuffed animal. I don't know. It was a bear. I guess it's their firstborn. They're going to name it Jomi, which is cute.
It was so. It was so cute.
Very. So we see them sitting down now, kind of having a couple of drinks. They're cheersing, and they talk about what they're like in real life. Do they go out? And Josh says that he thinks he's gotten a lot of his partying out of his system, but he does still like going out. And he thinks that Mimi is the party girl out of the two of them.
I think she is, to be fair. He's a little older, right? He's what, 30, 29? 29, something right? What?
Wait, what's happening?
Something just happened.
Is this the live feeds? I just see this. Decor did it. What? I'm not sure.
I
Is it
don't know.
decor on the live feeds? Is
Yeah,
that Big
that's
Brother?
why it's like, oh wait, I'm like, wait, did I just miss something? Because
I don't have feeds going on in the background because
yeah, I had them on my computer and I shut them off. So yeah, so he's 29, and Mimi's what, like 24?
yeah.
Yeah, so I think she would be still the partier out of the two of them.
Absolutely. Like going out to a club. Like, I mean, I like doing that up until like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd still like going out to a club. It's just like everybody's just so young there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would like love to go out dancing because we used to go out and dance back in the day. And I saw a TikTok where they're showing that people just like go to stand in like a booth and like hold like their drink and like wiggle. But like when we used to go, we'd be like, okay, down my drink so I can get back out to the dance floor. Like you'd be leaving sweaty. Like they don't seem to do that anymore. So yeah, I would love to have a dance club for older people. So he's definitely happy that he was patient with her. Like he loves where they both are really enjoying where they are right now. She thanks him for being patient and allowing her to be able to have the conversation that she needed to have with Io. So now that she can be here and be fully with him. And so he says his head won't turn. And they are closed off. Okay, closed off.
I liked her word better. She said, we're locked in. And I said, yes, that is the word they need to use from now on. Instead of closed off, they need to use locked in.
Locked in it is. They are locked in. And I do like him saying, like, wow, your smile is contagious. Your smile makes me smile. And I'm like,
And it's
Cordell
and
also says that to
smiling.
Serena.
Yeah.
And I'm like, aw.
And with both cases, you know that it's not a lie because he said it in the beginning, like, I really like your smile. And she laughed and he laughed after her. And the same thing with Cordell and Serena. And like, it's just like, you could tell when it's real, right? It's not something put on. And I do feel like a lot of times with Io, a lot of the stuff that he would say to her was so put on. Whereas like I do think the things he says now to Jess is so much more genuine. As genuine as the man can be.
That we've seen of him so far.
Correct. So I do like that that's the energy she's getting now.
Back at the villa, Io and Jess talk again. I don't know what it was about, but I just put again.
Again, he didn't bring her tea this morning. There would not have had to be a conversation.
Oh, that's why. Yeah. Right. I mean, maybe he's just. What's wrong with him? Just bring the
I
woman
don't know.
Like
because he didn't do shit for Mimi, and so the thing is, I think he thought, well, we're good now. I can just like forget to make her tea one day. No.
I mean, I would never be, like, I even have a tea every single morning. And I know if I don't have a tea, I'm like, ooh, it's 4 p.m. I haven't had a tea yet. I'll notice it. I'll be like, oh, I think I still need to have a tea. And I'll have a tea at 4 p.m. even if I didn't have one earlier for whatever reason. So you notice if you are a person that drinks a tea every morning, if you don't have a tea, especially if your guy is the one that makes it for you every morning. And it's not like he's out of town.
Right.
Like,
there was no reason for him not to make the tea. He went to go sit with the boys. He could have sat in the kitchen and told them, hey, guys, come with me to the kitchen so we can chat. Well, I make Jessica her tea.
Well, and like, what about the same time everybody else is making their tea? It's like,
that too.
I don't know. Maybe he was in a confessional or something like that. Like, and the timing was off.
Possibly.
So yeah, like maybe he came out of his confessional and the boys were already talking, so he just went directly to doing that, assuming that she already made a tea. Maybe. Anyways, we'll give him like a little leeway here, a little bit of the doubt, little teeny.
Lucky he getting that.
Mimi and Josh return. All the girls run up and hug Mimi. She sits down with the girls and shows them Jomi. They're all like, like super happy.
Our son. I love that.
Very cute. I think that Nicole, I didn't see Nicole, but I feel like she had jealous daggers in her eyes.
Oh, you know that Nicole was jealous. This is how you know Nicole was jealous. Who was the first person to come running to Mimi when she walked into the villa?
Oh, I missed you so much.
Don't ever leave. Don't ever leave and go to the market again.
Yeah.
She's so fake. Sorry.
Boys chat. He explains the date. He explains how now they're exclusive. Then they get a text. It's going to be a pre-loved party floral theme. Everybody's getting ready for the night, wearing all these different floral things.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately, Sean decides to pull Io from Jess. Why is he pulling Io? He should be pulling Jess.
Okay, so this is what I said when the Love Island page, Instagram page, and the Love Island Twitter page posted it on their pages. I'm like, they're like, oh, the OG's getting back together. I said he did not pull Mimi and Jess, and so he can kick rocks because that's who he should have been apologizing to, not to Io.
Exactly. So, he says that he has his best intentions at heart. And I just said, where the hell is his apology to Jess? Where?
Sorry.
Sorry, you never redeemed yourself with me, Sean, at all. I don't think he ever could.
No.
Io does go back to Jess, and they are flirting, and they're kind of back to normal, back to themselves. Mm-hmm. Then Io gets a text, and everybody has to go to the fire pit, and it's going to be their final recoupling boys pick. Mm-hmm. Io is up first and says that this girl makes me feel so good. He picks Jess. Sean says that
did you see her mouthing "I love you" to him?
No, I don't think so. I was probably writing.
And then she's like, "Oh, your speech was so good." His speech was all about him, so I don't know if they cut parts about her. His speech was all about him.
Sean's up next, saying that they get along like a house on fire. She's my fizzy watermelon slice. I was like, shut up.
Gross. Ew. Just so gross.
Chooses Matilda. Josh is up next. Since he came into the villa, he's only had eyes for Mimi. He chooses Mimi. Joey comes up and says that he's the luckiest man in the world. And I feel like everything that he says about Jessie is specifically to piss Grace off. Like, be like, I've never felt this way before. She can see me for who I am. We have such a special. I feel like everything he's saying,
he has to make Jessie special in order to get back to Grace. That he is not special enough to be her type.
Kay says, I hate watermelon slices, and now I hate watermelon slices. Yeah, I mean, watermelon slices are okay.
They're okay. Not a big
fan. I'm not a big candy watermelon flavor person. I like actual watermelon. I don't like candy flavors watermelon. Not really. Nicole is next. I don't know what they said, but Kieran was next, and she's Nicole, and she's crying when he's saying his speech. I'm just like, okay. Ruben is next and says that this person calms her down. I'm down. I guess he's too hyper for calm Grace, but chooses Grace. And then Harry chooses Lola. Mm-hmm. And Harry wasn't really happy about it. I don't even know. His speech was something like, I don't even know what his speech was, but it wasn't really.
It was like, we came in together, and I feel like she really made an impact on the villa. Not. And, while my eyes were elsewhere, I'm happy to, see what could come in the future. And I'm like, what comes in the future is y'all get dumped.
Yeah, that's coming for sure.
And you should have known that when the producers allowed Ruben to pick before you, hon. Sorry.
Oh, I mean, he must have known at that point that it was over when he had last pick.
Correct.
And so after the recoupling, Grace and Ruben are sitting together. They're back. They kiss. She seemed happy to be back with them. I think he brings out like a playful side to her that she's always so like poised, put together, and like she giggles and laughs with him. And I do like seeing her smile, to be honest.
Yeah.
Harry and Lola have a conversation, and he's just like, I can't develop feelings in 3 days. And I think he was upset about the fact that he's not with Grace anymore. Lola's pretty. Like, why can't he be like, hey, well, like, I didn't really think that you were going to be an option, but like, I'm really happy to get to know you. Mm-hmm. But he wasn't like that at all. So she kind of storms off, thinks Harry's weird, which he kind of is.
He is.
And then it's bedtime.
Yeah.
And there's a favorite couple vote.
So,
okay, quick though. I have to do another pod in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Do we think that the producers dumped Will and Uma to get Jess and Io to the final.
Do they care about Jess and Io that much?
They've kept that man in the villa this entire time. I don't know.
I don't think that they were thinking that far ahead because Uma is POC. I think that they were fine with having her go. I don't think that they were thinking about that. I think that they would have preferred to have Uma and Will in the final than Io and Jess, personally. So I think that they
liked Will, though.
I think that they let them go because they thought it was going to be a bigger, like, shocker for like a rating dumping. Oh, she's following him out. Like, I think that was more important to them. I don't think it had anything to do with it. Personally.
Okay, that actually makes more sense because they did like leak it and then teased it for like 2 days.
Yeah, I think they wanted like people talking about like, what, shocking, she's leaving with him, what, like,
and then said people stop watching. So I don't know how that worked out for them, but okay.
Well, thank you, Mika, for getting me on track with these past 2 episodes. What do you have going on that you want to share with the peoples?
So tonight I will be back with my live recap for Love Island USA on my channel at Entertainment in Color. We will chat yesterday's Family Day episode and today's episode where there will be a dumping.
Probably of 2 couples. Yay.
Probably of 2 couples. Yay. So we will chit chat, and please make sure if you are in the US, tonight is a live vote for your winning couple of season 6 of Love Island. I have my preference on who I want to vote, and I will be voting on all available media things in my house that I can vote on. So keep that in mind. But join me tonight, and we will chit chat both episodes and chit chat this vote and who we want to see in the finals, which we all should already know, but you know, producers.
Well, but some people are thinking that Janae and Kenny might fall to the bottom, and that it'll be the Leah and Miguel, Serena and Cordell, Kendall and Nicole, and then the bottom 3 would be Janae and Kenny, Robin, whatever, and Aaron and Kaylor.
Yeah.
And then the couples might have to choose the 3rd couple, and then it would be Janae that's chosen, I would think. But I don't think that that's possible because I think that they want Kaylor and Aaron to be in the final. So
yeah, they so we had a similar theory. The only issue is I agree with you that I think they would choose Kaylor and Aaron. Make them choose because you know they've had the
not over Janae and Kenny. There's no way those girls would.
Serena and Leah won't if they get it. Now, this is the only thing. Have theories on why I actually think, because if you look in the app, in our app, the order was in the app the night of voting. Serena, Nicole, Janae, then Leah. So that was your top 4. Then
I don't think that they're gonna let I don't think that Leah's fans are gonna let her not make it into the thing.
I have theories.
Okay, you saved your theories for your recap tonight. Thank you, everybody, so much for being here. It has been a fizzy watermelon slice.
I will be so happy when Candy Metaphors are done with this season. Thank you.
Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't done so already, please do ring that bell so you know when we go live at any random time. Like this video. Let us know who you think is going to make it to the final. Who do you think? Well, we know who's going to win. But any thoughts that you have about these last couple episodes, please leave it in the chat. Take care, everybody.